Welcome to Your Good News. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos. This is a show dedicated to nothing but things that will make you smile or at least help you find hope and faith in humanity. The world is a rough place, and sometimes we just need to hear some of the good things going on. Well, the Paralympics are underway in Italy, and there are always so many great stories of strength and triumph. Let's start with downhill skiing. The sport is challenging enough. Now imagine barreling down a mountain at more than 50 miles an hour while visually impaired. That's the reality for Team USA Paralympic skier Meg Gustafson, a reality her teammate, who also happens to be her brother, helps her navigate in a way many find fascinating. Sports producer Ryan Williamson caught up with the Minnesota siblings.
The bond of a brother and sister can extend to many places. For Meg and Spencer Gustafson, that bond extends to the slopes. Their history with the sport dates back to their days as toddlers when their parents Pater and Sage got them on skis right here in Minnesota.
They all got on skis at about 2. It was just one of those things you can do as a family.
While they thought this would be a recreational sport for the family,
we just kind of wanted them to be able to ski and be good skiers.
Spencer got the urge to try ski racing at just 5 years old.
He liked the freedom of it, kind of no rules.
Meg eventually joined big brother Spencer on the racing side, and the two found a passion for it, skiing for Team Gilboa, based out of Highland Hills in Bloomington. During the pandemic in 2020, they decided to take it up a notch, temporarily relocating to Vail so Meg and Spencer could train at a higher level. But then things took a turn.
Meg's always had impaired vision since she was born. Late winter, early spring of 2021, Meg started having some vision problems where the quality of her vision started deteriorating quite a bit, and her retinas were just kind of collapsing on her.
From a young age, Meg had dealt with a genetic issue called Marfan syndrome. This can affect connective tissue connected to certain parts of the body, like the eyes. The condition worsened in 2021, with her having 6 separate surgeries on her eyes, and at times she spent 30 consecutive days lying face down. But throughout her medical journey, Meg and her family just wanted to know one thing.
When can she be allowed to ski? Meg always asked, that was her very first question to any doctor at any appointment was, well, when will I be able to get back on skis?
Eventually, Meg got back on the slopes, and the Gustafsons decided to call Vail their new permanent home as Meg and Spencer skied at Ski Club Vail during the day and took classes at night. While Meg continued to compete in able-bodied races, the family was learning about options for Meg, including on the Paralympic side and for those who are visually impaired. They learned Meg would need a guide, a person to ski ahead and give concise, short commands on anything she might not expect via headset inside their helmets.
And Meg, almost without hesitation, said, Spencer can be my guide. He's one of the best skiers I know, so he's a natural fit.
It made the most sense for me to become her guide for these games.
Meg and Spencer began competing just a few months ago in the Paris Ski World and found success quickly. This was the first year Meg was eligible to compete in the World Cup and Paralympics in Paris skiing.
They didn't really have anyone tell them how to do it. They just sort of figured it out on their own. And one of the coaches said, hey, when's the last time you guys have practiced together? And Spencer said, never. We've only raced.
We've definitely had to work on our communication a lot. Have to give clear instructions.
It didn't take long for this duo to click. In their first World Cup start, they finished second in a race in Germany. That finish was good enough to qualify them for the Paralympics.
I remember in the finish of the second run, looking at the board, knowing she would end up at least on the podium, and I gave her a hug and said, you're going to the Paralympics.
For most of us, it's our first time. You just want to absorb the experience, and that's what I'm going into it trying to do.
While Meg makes her debut on the Paralympic stage, her brother Spencer will be with her all the way.
I can almost guarantee they wouldn't be here if Spencer wasn't part of the equation.
He works extremely hard. He's sacrificing his senior year too, and his
Senior season.
He is sacrificing a lot.
Spencer and Meg will continue their work together at the games, while their parents and younger sister Hope watch from the sidelines along with other extended family in attendance.
I think we're just excited to reunite as a family. We're treating this as an experience and to embrace it, and no pressure.
They hope this is just the start of a long skiing career.
It's going to be incredible. Once in a lifetime, hopefully multiple times in a lifetime experience that we're really looking forward to.
Gosh, that story is great. Well, the other Olympics may be over, but we're still basking in the glow of gold and a story of love rooted right here in Minnesota. Now, you might know them for what they do on the ice and on the court. Taylor Heise just helped Team USA women's hockey team win gold in Milan, and Parker Fox has his own impressive sports story with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. But together, they're preparing for their next special highlight. And as Julia Daniels reports, this one all started at a college party.
Ever heard the saying, so-and-so sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G? Well, that's where this story starts, except a tree is a tree house. And by tree house, I mean the Gopher Women's Hockey House near the University of Minnesota. Meet Parker Fox and Taylor Heisey. You may already recognize them. Fox, a Matamidi native, transferred to the Minnesota Golden Gophers men's basketball program in 2021 and has since begun his own journey into sports broadcasting. Heisey, from Red Wing, became a star with the Minnesota Golden Gopher women's hockey team.
Taylor Heisey.
Before making history as the first overall pick in the inaugural Professional Women's Hockey League draft,
Taylor Heisey.
landing with, of course, the Minnesota Frost. And she just finished up representing Team USA at the Olympics in Milan. But before the draft picks and the broadcasts, there was beer pong.
In classic college fashion, we got paired up for beer die or beer pong or one or the other. And I think we ran the table and won 9 games in a row. And we're like, okay, something's going on here. Something's working.
It wasn't love at first sight.
It actually kind of took a little bit of time after that. I was just transferring in. I had been in a long-term relationship before that. So I was just not ready to commit right away. And we kind of just started off as friends.
Friends who lived right across the street from each other.
She loves to bake. So anytime she would bake anything like cinnamon rolls or bundt cakes or anything like that, she'd text me.
I swear he would smell it and just
run over there.
But things weren't always so sweet. Parker tore both his ACLs in back-to-back seasons.
That was a kind of a low point in my life, and it made me kind of just really think about what was important and the people that I wanted to surround myself with. And then I remember kind of reconnecting with her.
For Taylor, who has largely avoided injury, it was a new perspective.
he didn't play for like over 1,000 days, and a lot of the kids that came to the games came to see him, and he didn't play a minute. And I think that's like a testament to who he is, a testament to what he does, and like it just reminds me every day, like it's an honor and a privilege to do what I do, and I forget that, and I have a reminder next to me every day, which is awesome.
Then, February 5th, 2023, things got even more serious.
We went out to a brewery and just kind of were hanging out, and that's
Playing
when we
some cards?
Yeah, being competitive again, and that's when we officially started dating.
Having both played sports at elite levels comes a certain understanding.
Heisey scores!
Training, having someone understand that you're not going to be near your phone from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. if you got practice and you got lift and all that.
We always wanted each other to be the best version of that as we could. There was never any like jealousy or any like angst towards the other person. It was always like, I want you to go out there and score 100 goals and me 100 points and the whole bit. So it was, I think that kind of that competitiveness really, we found a way to kind of put it in the right direction towards each other.
And this August, the two will tie the knot.
The connection that we had, I felt like it was very genuine, and when you truly care about someone, I feel like you would do anything for them, and I feel like we got to that point pretty soon after dating.
So first came love, and here comes marriage. And to think it all started with a game, a beer pong game.
Both competitive. I'm like, well, if I can find a partner that can win, this is good for today.
That's right.
It lasted me longer than that.
As for the next chapter,
there's just so many things that you dream about, and I'm like a romantic movie person. TV shows doesn't matter, like I'm a sucker for it, and that's what I dreamed about as a kid, and now to be able to live it out with like my favorite person, it's so fun to just like build upon it every day, and we're so competitive, like we want whatever's best, and we're gonna try to get that.
From the tree to the aisle to forever. Julia Daniels, KARE 11 Sports.
Let's take a trip to Michigan now, where winter can be just as dreary as it is here. An artist in Grand Rapids aims to change that by giving away her work in a splash of color. Here's Riley Mack.
The color palette of Michigan winter. Gray, gray, and you guessed it, more gray. Until you spot this humble booth offering a breath of fresh color.
Yeah, adding some whimsy.
Meet the artist drawing crowds. Literally.
My name's Abby Haywood, and I'm doing the hand-drawn photo booth. I'm drawing people and listening to what they have to say. They sit down on this side of the photo booth, and I sit on the other side. I get to know people a little bit, and I just draw their faces, and I learn a little bit about them. What brings you joy? I'm a very introverted person. It's definitely been helpful to make me feel a little bit less shy. My mom actually made the wooden part of the photo booth for me in high school, but I was too nervous to actually use it.
Cool. How long have you been drawing?
And then I found out that they had a call for artists for World of Winter, and they allowed me to do it.
Abby doesn't charge a dime.
Yes.
Are you nervous?
Excited? No, I'm excited.
Okay.
But somehow, you leave a little richer.
This is cute. It looks just like you. It looks like me, I think, and yeah, it's really cute. I love it.
Her freckles are perfect.
The reactions I got from people have been thanks, this brightened my day, and I have it on my fridge, or I'm giving this to my dad who I haven't seen in a while. I hope it's just a thing that lingers on a little bit that is positive.
But there's only one way.
Okay?
Yeah, ready.
Okay.
To find out for myself.
Watching all of the Lord of the Rings movies, so...
Celebrity crush you would do
People definitely get more sad in winter. I feel like this just put a little bit of sparkle out there.
In the gray palette of Michigan winter.
I'm almost ready.
Turns out the color was here all along. Sometimes you just need someone.
Oh my goodness.
To draw it out.
I love it. I'm gonna keep this forever.
With your something special, I'm
Riley Mack, 13 on your side.
Yeah, that.
Still ahead, a dog making life better in the courtroom, a kid schooling pilots on how they do their jobs, and our friend Belinda makes a big donation as she gets set to retire. Welcome back. Our friend Belinda Jensen announced she's retiring. For 33 years, Belinda called the KARE 11 backyard her office. She was out there forecasting in every type of weather and, of course, needed to be prepared, which includes all of those coats that she's worn over the years, the same ones that all you viewers constantly ask about. So she's decided to auction them off for a great cause.
We're here to help. We're here to be on the front lines every day. Regardless of what our function is here at ISCA, we're here to serve.
Talk about how many households it is currently helping in the western suburbs.
Oh my gosh, we talk about households about, close to 10,000 households right now.
Wow.
We're up at 1,900 to 2,200 visits per month.
The Intercongregational Communities Association, ICA Food Shelf, has been serving people in the western suburbs for 54 years.
Yeah, just take as much as you want.
In the 5-6 years that I've been here, we've seen a 91% increase.
You bring way more than bread to the table, which is so important.
It's about food, jobs, and housing, and we look at it as a case-by-case scenario with how can we fulfill that gap that they're going through right now currently.
So you can donate, you can volunteer, and you can contribute in so many ways. Okay, let's talk coats. 37 to be exact. Many that have been in rotation for decades.
This is a cream-colored coat in the winter.
But since I only wear them for a night or two a season,
further to the north,
in this beautiful KARE 11 backyard, they are all in great shape. Long, short, trendy, fuzzy, warm, and yes, in every color under the rainbow.
Oh, look at this.
But sorry, no green.
Right over.
Because of the green chroma key.
Can't wear this jacket.
So many coats that all have a story to tell. This one was just dropped off in the KARE 11 lobby with no name or anyone to thank or return to. So it became one of my favorites. And the brand was one I looked to buy off-season for the next few years.
Colder on Monday.
Yes, I bought most of my coats off sale racks after the winter season because good coats are spendy. Or, as in this case, maybe a color that no one thought they could carry off. Yes, bright orange, and I guess I thought I could.
Buy a color that you don't think you'd normally wear. This is a hot cotton candy pink.
Bright colors with cool collars, buttons, unique cuts that made them fun to find, fun to wear, and now to sell. I get emails weekly asking about certain coats, and even a gal who once logged what I wore for months, day after day, and mailed it to me. I also needed scarves to brighten up the coats, and yes, the hats. Well, Whenever it snowed, it was necessary, or it would have been a really bad hair day.
Back to you guys.
37 coats, 12 scarves, and 20 hats all go on auction for the ICA food shelf on March 1st through the 31st.
This little coat auction thing, I threw it at you and you said yes right away. You're so sweet. Why do you want to do it?
Well, it was a brilliant idea, and I just wanted to follow your lead and use my particular set of skills to help you out.
My friend Wendy Zins is an amazing professional photographer. I met her doing charity events years ago, and she has since taken pictures of my family for years, and I love that she is helping me with this project.
It was a lot. There were a lot of pictures, and that's what people are going to look at when they buy the coats.
Hopefully they bid high, right?
Oh, we better bid high, because of course the dollars go to such a great cause.
Yes.
Everyone needs food. Let's just help the people get the food on the table. Let's help them get their feet back underneath them, and that's what this place does. And that's why I've dedicated my time to this place, and now you have too, so thank you.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome.
I couldn't be more proud of a community that says, you know what, we're here, and you just have to call us and tell us what you need, and we'll be there to respond. And your coats are a good one example of being here in the front lines with us.
You can bid on those coats until the end of March. And of course, we are sure going to miss Belle. You can catch her on her last day, which is Saturday, May 2nd. Pilots share their love of aviation with kids all of the time. And one of those kids did them a solid by improving their training manual. Byron Reed talks to that preschooler from Colorado.
You're on the tips of the wings.
Traveling by plane takes you on a journey.
Because they get you from place to place a lot faster than a car does.
For 5-year-old William Hines,
I love flying.
It's a mode of transportation that hits home.
I don't have to walk 7,000 miles.
William is a pre-kindergarten student at Campbell Early Learning Center with a passion for flight.
That shows them how many degrees the engine is.
He's very mechanically inclined, and so I suppose it was a natural progression to want to know about more fascinating things.
Amber Hines is William's mom. She says his passion took off thanks to a connection with the Southwest Airlines pilot who brought William a company training manual.
And sat with him for 2 hours going over the charts and just talking shop with him.
But William noticed something was a little off.
I discovered that 2 terrain monitors did not match. They did not match at all. That is closer up and that's farther up.
I had no idea that one of our friends had started a job with Southwest Airlines, but she said, "Can I pass these along to my manager?" And I said, "No, sure, that's fine."
That's when the CEO of the airlines found out, then invited William and his family to Dallas for a VIP tour.
So we went down to headquarters. It was amazing. Everyone there was very, very welcoming, and we definitely had the tour of a lifetime.
I got to go in a simulator, and the simulator pilot was Chris, showing how close.
It's an experience this family will always remember.
That heats up the cockpit.
Because of William's attention to detail that might land him in a career he already loves.
Then I can support people to a place, like 140 people.
Well, if he becomes a real pilot, then he doesn't have to be in a simulator anymore. That kid's so cute. All right, dogs make everything better, well, in my eyes. And now inside a Fulton County, Georgia courtroom, too, changing the way people experience justice, bringing calm, comfort, and a reminder that second chances are possible. Here's Caitlin Ross.
Welcome to BHTC.
Glad to be here.
Stepping into court, Joel Lett is all alone.
I'm kind of by myself. I don't really have friends at this point in time of my life.
The 21-year-old faces the judge by himself.
We are not defined by our bad decisions, right? We're defined by what we do in response to them and how we try to turn things around.
Helping turn things around in Judge Emily Richardson's courtroom is a supporter who doesn't say a word.
So she feels your pain.
Every defendant feels her presence and care.
It shows that there's still some light in this world, and, you know, even in court, you can still have a joyful moment.
I need you to focus on this.
Inside Fulton County Behavioral Health Court,
We've put in all this work and we've made a lot of progress.
that light comes from a wagging tail and an understanding soul.
She has been abused and neglected. She has a bullet in her leg. She's had a rough go around, but she went through the Canine Cellmates program, and now she came out on the other side and has a really good life now.
Canine Cellmates is a diversion program that gives defendants the chance to train dogs instead of serving time. Icy was trained by those defendants and then adopted by Judge Richardson. Her journey shows what's possible when someone is given a second chance.
Icy ends up here making everybody feel better in a setting that doesn't always bring about the best in people.
We all need help at different times in our life, and this is a time that you could use a little help.
For Susan Jacobs Meadows, the courtroom becomes a place of transformation where hope is real and second chances are possible.
They see the good that's inside us, and they love us for it, even when we can't love ourselves.
That love is now part of the courtroom. Every defendant who steps before Judge Richardson feels it. They deserve a second chance.
We all have the ability to make changes, to improve, to become the best versions of ourselves, and then hopefully start a new chapter in our lives. There we go.
For Joelle, a new chapter opens with accountability and the calm presence of a dog who understands resilience.
Oh, I see. Well, still to come, a bittersweet update to a Land of 10,000 Stories favorite. Welcome back. One of two highly infectious laughs in Minnesota is silent tonight. Ray Lang has passed away. Ray and his twin brother, Roy, are legends in Fillmore County, both barbers with larger-than-life personalities. We'll have more on Ray's passing, but first, Boyd Hubert takes us back 10 years to reintroduce us to two of our all-time favorite Land of 10,000 Stories characters.
If you arrive in Fillmore County and feel inspired by generations of good grooming,
morning, folks.
Roy's Barbershop
in Durham, he always has a flat top.
Is the place to stop.
But a lot of them, when they come in here, I always pick on them. I always say, well, here comes Grizzly Adams. You know, he's in here to get slicked up.
And if Fillmore County doesn't give you your fill of Roy, make the short drive from Chatfield to Spring Valley and get your fill.
Hello, he's Rick here.
More.
He's gonna feel like a whole new man. Oh, yeah.
Wait for it. That laugh. That face.
It's an interesting scenario.
This Fillmore County twist of fate.
I'm the what you call the original trend. I was born first. I shoved him out.
Ray and Roy Lang were 10th and 11th of a dozen children born to Nellie and Harry.
It was your idea.
Yeah.
To go to barber school.
Oh, yeah. But someone's got to come up with it. You ain't going to believe what happened. We're in Fillmore County, and the two barbershops came up for sale same day. So we bought the two shops the same day. I take care of this edge of Fillmore County, and he's taking care of the other edge.
They're the same.
Yeah, the same. One and the same.
They're one and the same.
Yeah.
Roy and Ray both serve their country. Both repair clocks on the side.
Yeah.
Both fix zippers.
Both of us do upholstery work. Oh, darn right I do.
Both drive red convertibles.
That's a 63.
And have an affinity for black walnuts that would put to shame an ambitious squirrel.
Some people go to a football game, and the Lang brothers were harvesting walnuts, you know?
And at 72, both also recently learned of a 106-year-old barber in West Virginia.
So with that challenge, we got 34 years to go yet.
Which will be welcome news to Ray and Roy's favorite customers.
We have never paid for a haircut in the last 49 years. We always keep the money in the family.
In a few months, Ray and Roy will mark a combined 100 years of barbering.
Yeah.
The state of grooming, twice protected.
Very much so.
Across the Fillmore County hairline.
Well, that looks good right there. It sure does. You couldn't ask for a better cut.
Boyd Hupert, KARE 11 News, Chatfield, and Spring Valley.
We recently learned that Ray Lang passed away after a brief illness. At 82, he was still cutting hair at his shop in Spring Valley days before he died. In the 10 years since their story first aired, Ray and Roy celebrated birthdays together. They continued to cut each other's hair. Though he's missing his twin brother, Roy is still barbering at his shop in Chatfield. His daughter recently took these photos for us. Man, like we said, bittersweet. Well, thank you for joining us for your good news. We do hope this half hour of Zen will make your day just a little bit brighter. And until we see you again, have an excellent week, friends.